Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter. Make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to another week of Manifestations 2020. We in the building.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to the whole playoffs going on. I know if your team is the Kansas City, Buffalo, Eagles, Washington, you guys had a great watch today with the Eagles and Washington game. Congratulations to the Eagles moving on to the Super Bowl. And shout out to Jaden Daniels for doing such a phenomenal job as a rookie, man. Black man, when they said that black men don't make good quarterbacks and all the stereotype behind black quarterbacks, and you have a rookie quarterback that comes in and end up doing something that over 85 of the other white quarterbacks in the league haven't done. To see him do that and get the acclimates that he deserves, so much needed. Shout out to him, and my hats go off to him. A hell of a rookie year to go all the way to the divisional round like that. So definitely shout out to him, man, and his queen that supports him at his games every day. And that's so good, dope love. So we do have a black quarterback going to the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, man. Shout out to him and his queen and the phenomenal things they have done over the years, and all of that's been paying off. And now he gets a second chance to go back to see if he could close a Super Bowl ring under his career. And I hope he gets it. I really do. I'm rooting for the Eagles to win as when it comes down to the Super Bowl. And then right now we have the Kansas City and Buffalo going at it. Everybody knows when you play Kansas City, you play in 12 men. You play in the 11 on Kansas City and the refs. So, so as you see, Kansas City is winning right now by a good margin. So you already know how that goes. So more than likely, we're going to see Kansas City versus Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. Can't wait for the Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar doing the Super Bowl halftime show. That's what I'm super eager for, man. I think it's going to be so dope for the culture, and just to see the huge response of everybody gravitating to that. And, it's going to be a great Super Bowl this year, man. Looking forward to it. So that's enough for me, but what's going on with you guys? Y'all good?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Sure.
I'm bouncing off the walls over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I still got on my 49er attire. I don't know if y'all, I'm just saying, shout out to them, I guess, but if I'm being totally honest, the only team that remains that I can tolerate is Buffalo. I like Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, I despise, but I despise Kansas City more, cheating ass Kansas City. So if they do go, which I think they will end up going again because the refs really like Kansas City. You understand what I'm saying? They just, I mean, those are their children, you dig? So if they do go, I can't believe I'm saying this, I will actually be rooting for the Eagles. You understand what I'm saying? Because I am so sick of Patrick Mahomes and that damn degenerate Travis Kelce and the Swifties and all this shit. I'm tired of it, dude. So my response is Niner gang. Yeah.
Nice.
That's how I feel.
That's what's up.
Bobby, what you got? You ain't got nothing? You got something to share?
The whole game, but I caught the last 4 or 5 minutes of the Commanders and the Eagles, and all I can say is, goddamn.
Yeah.
Beat the sugar, honey, and the ice and the tea out of them boys. But big up to Jaden. His whole season is just impressive. I was telling some folks earlier about the little backstory behind Jaden, his little superhero origin story. If you understand his training methods that helped him get to this next level, it's just been phenomenal. And just off this season alone, I think just if y'all don't know, go ahead and look up Jaden Daniels and his VR virtual reality training. Brother's low-key been a prototype for what I think is going to definitely revolutionize sports, football in particular, but it's definitely going to revolutionize the way the game is prepared for generations to come. Jaden definitely is the Captain America of that, for real. And all I can say is if he was able to pull this off in his rookie season, the Commanders are in good shape for their forthcoming future. So they almost made it this year, but don't be surprised if the next 2 or 3 years you don't see a Super Bowl appearance from Daniels and the gang. But I thought that this game right here was amazing because either way, I like stories. I always like storylines. And I think this game is amazing because no matter how you flip the coin, there's an amazing storyline that's going to come out of this. If Jaden and the gang wins it, then it's his rookie quarterback making it, leading his team, this team that's historically been garbage, to the Super Bowl, getting to see how they fare up against whoever the big bad is. If the Eagles win, then what a hell of a redemption story for Saquon Barkley. That brother, and I don't care what anyone says, Saquon Barkley is the prototype. He is my mascot for what petty power can do in your life. They overlooked this man. They said, we have a choice. We can go ahead and sink the bag behind Saquon Barkley or Daniel Jones. Let's put it in Daniel Jones. I can just imagine Saquon when he even made it to the playoffs.
Oh my God.
Getting his Jimmy Butler on, like, Daniel Jones over me? Daniel Jones over me. But man, that boy is running his behind. Look, I don't know when the Eagles season is going to end, if they secure the bag in the Super Bowl or if they've come short. But either way, all I know is in the offseason, that boy is going to be wheelchair bound until the next season starts because he's been running his damn legs off.
Yeah, it's crazy. He is a monster. So,
literally got the whole franchise, got the whole division on top of his legs. That's amazing. But yeah, whoever goes up there, just please beat the brakes off of Patrick Mahomes, man. Go ahead.
That's all. That's it. You got one job.
That's all. My boys are out because my boys with how the story ends, because no disrespect to the Niner gang, but my squad is the only squad that has the proven Patrick Mahomes killer on deck with Joe Football.
Okay, well, it is.
The man when Mahomes sees his name on the schedule, he says, yeah. But that's all right. We'll let others be great next season. We're going to make it do what it do. But big ups to the boys playing. They hope everyone stays safe. No major injuries. And that Super Bowl is going to be one for the books, man.
Let's get it.
Definitely. All right. So with that being said, we're definitely going to get off into tonight's show. It's been a very, very great week so far with the feedback that we have. And we're just making sure that we're keeping the great content going. And tonight we have another great content coming on tonight, which is the topic is bad girl defending versus good girl defaming. So we've been talking about how a lot of the women out here are promoting bad behavior and co-signing it, and how that ends up being detrimental in the long run. A lot of people have been talking about, oh, you policing women and doing this. It's not about policing women, because we hold people accountable. Accountable is not policing people. It's just getting people back on the right train that they naturally need to be on. Just like we say about women, we also say about men. We even say about men more than we say about women. But it becomes like nobody out here, when it comes to the women, are really correcting them like that. We have a few women out there, but it should be a lot of women out there correcting the women and telling them how to go about things. But it's a lot of women out there that are promoting the bad behavior and encouraging that and getting a bag behind that for selling you a false narrative that's going to leave you in a state that is very very fragile, and is also very corruptive and destructive and toxic in the long run. And that's what we don't want our queens to fall in that category, because once you get to that level of destruction, it's hard to recuperate out of that. And sometimes when you get to that level, you're destroying yourself, your brand, your mind, your family, your friends, everybody around you crumbles down when this happens. And on the flyer, as you guys notice, there is a fire burning inside the house per se of tonight's conversation. We had many times we talked about tonight's conversation. I have told y'all personally plenty of times that the creator of tonight's conversation, which is Ace Metaphor, me and him bumped heads on social media before.
Okay.
Because what I didn't like was the fact that him and Derek Jackson roll side by side. They're boys. They were always boys, and they were running the same game plan and play on women.
The same con.
The minute,
The same con, yeah.
Yeah, the same con game. So the minute that Derek Jackson went down, I saw Ace putting up content to throw Derek Jackson under the bus.
What?
And I called him out on it, and I said, no, you're not going to do that. that was your boy. You ride the plane with him. You can't jump out of the plane with a parachute and leave the captain back in there with no parachute.
Yeah.
If your boy, if the pilot go down, the passenger got to go with it. So you need to ride that ship too. And he got mad because a lot of people were liking what I was saying, and he had end up blocking me because he was trying to explain himself. And I was like, no, there's no way you can explain yourself. There's plenty of receipts with you sharing his content and on the same wavelength as him. So he blocked me. And ever since he blocked me, I knew that what type of weasel type dude he was. You know, he's really out here to gain money, and it's not about and smash women. And it's not about correcting women or trying to align men with women. It's about capitalizing on the gender warring and seeing and filling his pockets at the same time with his so-called card game. So I've told people about that person. I told them that I don't really like anybody else on that platform except for Kitty Rose and Trip. Those are only two that I can really, you know, they can have some sense on that panel when it comes to trying to correct the behavior on people. I've seen both of them correct both men and women. When it comes down to other guest appearance, I didn't really like Trill. Trill, I liked his content, but I didn't like the fact that he came on there. I felt like he was doing his brand a disservice by placing himself on tonight's conversation. Sometimes you got to understand when your brand is bigger or you moving in a different direction, you don't put yourself in a place that really isn't in an energy-filled room with the same energy that you have. Like, if your energy is different from the room's energy, why put yourself in there? And I feel like Trill's like that. Stefan Speaks is like that. And these gentlemen came on the platform, even though they weren't on there that long. I just felt like they did their brand a disservice by coming on that platform, knowing that they were way bigger than that platform. And he only invited them because they had a huge following. So once he gets these people with huge following to come on, he's only trying to grasp onto your following. So you really don't need that platform. That platform is really for somebody who's coming out, nobody knows, and then you can elevate yourself off of that. But being a big brand and coming on that platform, I felt like you're doing yourself a disservice. So, like I said, there's a woman on there by the name of Kita Rose, not Kitty Rose, but the other one named Kitty Rose. And I told people before, I bumped heads with her on Clubhouse. I already knew this girl is not a woman that you really want to engage with or have conversation with. She's one of those get along gang women who will only side with you when it's everybody versus the person that they're going against. So you don't want to be around people like that because they're only wing persons. They're only good to ride the wing with people. But the minute that you ride and that plane crashes, the wing wants to separate from the plane, and that's how she is. But she should have never been in that place in the first place. And now we're starting to see who this person is and how her character was, because everything is coming out because her Kitty and Katie is going at each other. And now they have this thing where they exposing everything, even exposing Ace Metaphor for doing the same thing that Derek Jackson was doing. And one of the girls, Katie Jones, started exploring and talking about all of that. So I want to get into that, but I want to show you guys the videos so you understand exactly what I'm talking about. All right.
Okay.
Hello, and thank you for watching part 2 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? I just want to address a few things that have been really pissing me off. Number one, I'm not one of those friends that fall out with a friend and tell their business. These hoes actually never liked me at all. This isn't a hurt people situation. This is a you fucked around and now you're gonna find out. A lot of you are saying this seems a little one-sided, Kita. Right, because I'm the only one talking. So since your faves get paid to speak on a daily basis, they should have no problem speaking out. Before it was tonight's conversation, live and uncut, It was tonight's conversation, love, sex, and relationships. The tour. I had never been on tour before. I was content creating and working HR at Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. I was HR there. By the way, since we're doing this, y'all probably shouldn't be eating that shit either, but if they sue me, they're gonna take my son, so I best be shutting that ass up. But I got to meet some really great people. I met the very talented Jay Martinez, the very funny TC Caldwell, the really beautiful and talented K-Love the poet, and Joe! Look how happy I am. Stupid girl. This healed, emotionally mature, ready for marriage, man. Honestly, the show was a vibe. It was a vibe. It was intimate. It was positive. I had millions of followers. TC had millions of followers, but he lost his page. And when he lost his page, Mojo Jojo said, "You're no longer valuable. Goodbye." This is my best friend, and the reason why I'm in this fucking predicament, she was following Mojo Jojo and couldn't believe he picked me to be on tour. So when Mojo Jojo hired me, he said that we were going to make a lot of money because he had done a lot of shows. This wasn't his first show. This was my first tour, but not his. He used to be on tour with, who's that? Apparently it started out a card game, but then they moved it to making content and then moved it on the road. I don't know. So one of the products sold on tour that made the tour and made him so lucrative is his card game. But word on the curb, allegedly is this was not his idea. A little birdie told me that the card game was his idea, but he just didn't know how to market it right. Good thing Mojo Jojo is a master marketer. Ooh. Unfortunately, this is going to be the end of part 2. But don't worry, we're going to give you a sneak peek of what's to come in part 3.
That's what I'm telling you. Why? Wait, so y'all men really don't like getting y'all asses ate? No, man. For what? Y'all better be glad I don't know. Oh, shit. Because I put these niggas after I be making A's. I like for men to pee on me. Okay? In all true honesty, it's something about that stream hitting that.
All right.
And before I even get into this rant, let me go ahead and say this right now. Let me clear something up real quick, because I know it's a lot of y'all women, and yes, I'm drinking my coffee in a straw. It is a lot of y'all women who feel as though I have an agenda. I do have an agenda. Yes. To make sure that women heal, that's the agenda. So yes, I am going to hold women accountable because I am a woman and I was once broken. So the agenda is to get women out of their brokenness by seeing themselves and seeing how they're causing their own emotional suffering. So toodaloo, if you have to tear down another woman to build yourself up, you are not a woman's woman. If you have to talk about another woman or make her lose opportunities because you're afraid that she is going to outshine you, you are not a woman's woman. If you're telling a woman to do something, things that you know for a fact you would never do, like selling her morality, trying to make her operate outside of her integrity, seek revenge on people, and you know you're not even built like that, but you're encouraging her to do so, you are not a woman's woman. If you play nice nasty, you are not a woman's woman. If you smile in a woman's face and you talk behind her back, you are not a woman's woman. If a woman's confidence and security in herself makes you insecure and you do things to break her self-esteem or to break her confidence, you are not a woman's woman. If you are constantly projecting your insecurities, fears, anxieties, worries, pains, hurt on another woman, hoping that she'll adopt those same things so that way she can be the company to your misery, you are not a woman's woman. Girl, the only way you can be motivated in life or you can boost up your self-motivation is by tearing other women down, is by minimizing another woman so you can step over her while she's at a low level. You are not a woman's woman. If you see that a woman is happy and envy draws in your heart because of her happiness and you do things to sabotage that happiness, you are not a woman's woman. If you're a lurking woman or if you're a troll and you sit there and you take it and you make it a 9-to-5 job to go and try to break down another woman, go all on her feed, on her comment sections and stuff like that, in her DMs to break her character, you are not a woman's woman. The reason why this irks me so much is because there are so many people who are influencers online who are really not women's women. Their whole personality, their whole profile is about keeping women in victimhood. You are sitting here collecting coins off of keeping women in victimhood, off of keeping women broken. That runs me insane, and I'm constantly going back and forth with some of you women because y'all don't like my stance, and that's absolutely okay. Let me tell you something about your girl, Kitty. I host 8 to 12 classes a month. Hundreds of women that are in my classes each month. I have coached thousands of women and I have helped them get out of victimhood, stop operating in a victim mentality, to heal from their brokenness, to get over their fears, to help them build, to be better women, not just for relationships, but for themselves, for their kids, for their families, for their friendships, for their businesses. I'm a woman's woman. You may not like my approach, but I know what it is. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. This whole birthday trend thing that I've been seeing. You're so insecure that a woman that's dressed up, you feel as though she's going to outshine you. Baby, if it's your birthday, can't nobody outshine you. That's your day. One thing about me, all the women in my circle know how I am. Baby, put that shit on. I'm secure in who I am. The fit is gonna fit regardless. The shine is gonna shine regardless. I don't understand some of y'all. I never will. Get your insecurities under control before you try to be somebody's friend. Okay?
All right, so I wanted to show, the topic is the whole, bad girl defending, good girl defaming. We have Erica Lachey, who's the ideal model type woman that we out here promote. And she also promotes healthy relationship. And, she does do a lot of corrective action with women and tell them how to maneuver themselves in a more feminine and positive way. And then you have somebody like Amber Rose, who goes out here and tells everybody to be sluts and then be good at being sluts. And then 1 minute you're like that, and the next minute you're over here campaigning on the Republican side. You're just all over the place because you really don't stand for nothing. And then you have, Kitty Rose. She just said in her interview, in her video, that she was once broken. So as you've seen at the end of the other girl video, she had played an old clip of her old self on a podcast way back. And she tried to use that to destroy her character. Like, oh, look what she was doing. But she told you she was broke before, and she went and got herself healed and got on the other side and got married. You could tell in that video she didn't have a ring on. She wasn't married. So then you have the girl who's doing all of this, the one that I said that I bumped heads with on Clubhouse. This is what she puts out there. And this is the type of shit that she's generating other women to be like. And it's very bad that you got a lot of women out here that's really following these type of women, and gathering their information and taking in this narrative that they're pushing in their minds that end up making them not to be good, compatible women with men. You're actually encouraging them to be more of divisive and gender war. So I just wanted to break that down and give that aspect to the people. But go ahead, I'll land my plane on that.
Yeah, man, facts. Listen, that other one, Kitty J. Rose, she's right up there with Erica Lachey, in my view. Like, she's very close. She about 90-95% of her content is spot on. That sister's razor sharp. She has a lot of intelligence, and I really, really admire, where she's coming from and what she has to say. The other sister, Keita Rose, she's also intelligent, but she's very toxic, and I feel very broken. She came out a couple weeks ago and made something akin to a Believe All Women post. She's a very toxic feminist, and she's one of those people that they'll tell you enough of the truth to where you'll believe them. And if you're not strong-minded enough to know where the demarcation line is between the truth and her bullshit, then you'll fall for what she's saying. So, they're not cut from the same cloth. I feel like one of them is pure and genuine, and one of them is just an opportunist trying to grift off of people. You understand what I'm saying? And the elephant in the room is that we have a lot of gullible ass women out here with no solutions. You understand? And they'll pretty much gravitate to anybody that will pay them attention and hear their grievances, even if that person doesn't have any answers and doesn't know shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you have Derek Jackson out here. That's why you have Ace Metaphor out here. That's why you have Keita Rose out here, the Sprinkle Lady. You don't have equivalents like that where men are concerned. You I've had this conversation with a few different people, and they want to say, well, yeah, it's both sides. Yeah, it's both sides. True. There are faults on both sides. That part is true. But the accountability is not the same on both sides. And I'm tired of hearing that bullshit ass talking point. You understand? The accountability is not the same on both sides. Unfortunately, there is this energy out there that comes from the mainstream media and is reinforced by morons online and grifters like Derek Jackson and some of the other people that I mentioned that tells women you're a queen no matter what. You understand what I'm saying? I had this debate with a good brother that I know from back in the day, this dude named Claude. We were going back and forth on my page this week, and I criticized Glorilla. And, he just made a bunch of silly assertions and jumped to this conclusion that I somehow hate women because I criticized Glorilla. No, nigga, I criticized Glorilla for something stupid that she said. No differently than I criticized men, because he tried to make this bullshit comparison between what we say about males and what we say about females. And, I wasn't saying this, when Snoop and them was rapping about bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Nigga, I was 17. You understand what I'm saying? First of all, I was 17. Are we really doing that? And if he's really paying attention, I bang on the male rappers harder than anybody else.
Yeah.
I detest these junky ass niggas who pretend that they're MCs out here. You understand? I'll say that shit with my chest. This is why I get on people like Luke, because Luke was the one who actually introduced degeneracy into, the rap genre, whatever the case may be. And that's why I get on people like Future, Lil Wayne, and other people, who really, it's just junkie rap. That's what I call it, because all these niggas rap about is doing drugs.
Yeah.
What's fly about that?
That's
true. And then the females, I call them I'm a hoe rappers, because all they rap about is how much of a hoe they are or how much of a hoe they're trying to be. And that's just the motherfucking truth of the matter. I call it straight down the middle. Yeah. I don't have any sacred cows. Anybody can get it. I don't give a fuck who you supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying? So, but in the words of the great Negro Tupac, if you coming out here with that bullshit and the drama, fuck you and your motherfucking mama. That's how I feel. You understand? And, to bring it back to where we are, that's hip hop, but this is a relevant conversation that I recently had. And I told him in the end, stop using the bullshit feminist deflection that, you don't talk about the men's like that. Shut the fuck up. No, I talk about everybody equally, because everybody has work to do. Yeah. And the problem with people like my good brother Claude, I fuck with Claude. That's my guy. You understand? But the problem with people like him, you're not helping. And it's the same thing with Umar. You're not helping women when you coddle them and pretend like they can't think for their fucking self. Yes, they can. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't say that Glorilla's a horrible person and she shouldn't be allowed to, live among the rest of us and bees and disease to her. She should die slower. No, I said that she said some dumb shit. Let's talk about that. Yeah. When there's some shit that a man does or something that the men do, we can talk about that. But for you to try to crowbar that issue into this discussion that has shit to do with it just tells me that you don't know how to debate, or you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the topic, one or the other, which is fine, but let's acknowledge that. So I see a lot of that same type of energy in these discussions, and we really need to get away from that and focus on the matter at hand, because when you deflect and you go into other bullshit, you really just give a person an excuse to talk about something else and not face the fact that they have this issue that they need to work on. So it never gets corrected.
Correct.
You understand? I don't do that when it comes to men. I don't expect men to do it at all when it comes to women or women. But, we have some maturing to do, because we think that, the answer is, we just tell them they're all queens and everything else will work itself out. And that's
exactly.
Bullshit.
Exactly. Well said. Drake.
Oh, nothing is worse than the blind leading the blind. Or the deaf trying to lead the choir for the other deaf. Look, I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, it really speaks for itself. I'll be honest, I don't follow most of these people. Trip I keep tabs on because from the clips that I've seen from tonight's conversation, like you mentioned, he appears to be one of the only ones on that show that actually has some proper sense in his head. And one of the key, I can't remember the key, but there definitely is a thumbs up Keita and a thumbs down Keita. But I can't remember who's who, but one of them has been on point for the most part.
Yeah.
But look, my only thing
Kitty.
is Kitty. She's a song. Okay, so Kitty Rose. Shout out to the sister.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, again, we've had an episode about that before. Where we talked about how the right sources are key. Because it doesn't matter how self-sufficient you are. I know some people say things like, oh, I don't listen to podcasts or I don't read such and such books, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. No man, no woman is an island, right? We're social beings. And no matter what, you can be very intelligent. You can be very wise, very perceptive, have a lot of game for yourself. But the reality is, if the only person that you listen to, if the only source of information that you have really is yourself, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. Because the reality is, it doesn't matter how aware you are, how self-aware you are, we all by default to some extent have blind spots within ourselves. The old adage, physician heal thyself, comes to mind. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I've never necessarily been a huge now I'm definitely anti-hypocrisy, but I've never necessarily had an issue with people who give great advice but don't necessarily live it themselves, because sometimes it is very difficult to see yourself through a clear lens. That's why it's always great to get outside perspective. And that's why it's important to have people around you who can keep you honest, hold you accountable, not try to kiss your ass, and they're going to hold your feet to the fire, because sometimes you really are trying to give yourself the same game that you give everybody else, but you're in the thick of it. All you look around and see is the fog of war. You have the emotions that you're dealing with. You have your own personal relations, whatever. You can't get that bias out of the way because it's difficult. All right. But with other people, you don't have those problems. You can see what the case may be. You can provide great insight. And there are people who have been able to do that for others. Right. I don't, just because a person's a chain smoker, they go through 8 packs a day. That doesn't mean that if they tell me I shouldn't smoke, smoking is bad, it's going to cut my best years away. That doesn't mean I should ignore them. No. If anything, this person is speaking from experience. They know they might be on the road to self-destruction, but they might not want that from me. I'm going to take the game where it comes from. So it's important to, yes, consider the source always, no matter what. But at the same time, we also have to learn to evaluate the information based on the information presented. Because even that, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, even that is also a lazy response. Well, I don't like this person. I don't like what they got to say. So anything, I don't like how they live. So what did they say? I'm going to know. Okay. That person might have the gem that you need for yourself. Broken clocks are still right twice a day, the AM side and the PM side. Don't overlook the AM or the PM because you want to be intellectually lazy. We're supposed to analyze and criticize everything. There are no sacred cows. You are only as funky as the last cut. So you could have given me a great game for the last 20 years, but if I peep that you're on the downward trend, then it's fine for me to go ahead and turn the corner on you. And likewise, you could have been all the way off for the past 20 years, but if all of a sudden, okay, so you finally got some sense in your head, I'm going to pay some heed. And I'm going to give you credit for as long as you're on that path. And if I see that you're splitting from the path, okay, then we got to diverge. But that's the way life is. Everything isn't always linear A to B. Sometimes it jumps A to E to 1 to orange to C again. But if you're intellectually lazy, if you just want to be spoon-fed, you don't have to figure things out for yourself, then you're either going to listen to everybody and go the wrong way, or you're going to listen to nobody and you're going to move very slowly. So the sooner we get in the habit of using this and analyzing and thinking and evaluating, the better off we're all going to be. And the sooner you have folks like your Mojo Jojos that aren't going to have much traction, because people like him and the Derek Waxons, they thrive among audiences that just want to be sheep and just want to sit there with flies using their mouth for an airport hanger, waiting to be spoon-fed. They feed off of those types. The people that have been solid, that critically think like I'm talking about, they were able to see through people like Derek Waxon a long time ago, men and women alike. Long time ago. So for a lot of people, these allegations are shockers, but for a lot of us, we're like, we've been waiting for this to come out. We knew it was there. We were just waiting for it to reveal itself.
Correct. Yep, definitely well said.
And shout out to that sister for admitting that she used to be broken.
Exactly.
I respect the hell out of that. And that is a very rare quality to find in anybody, but especially in women.
Yep.
You understand? And that right there lets you know the difference between the real deal and the knockoff.
Exactly.
You understand? So let's go.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
Nobody had to hold her feet to the fire. Nobody had to put her out there, and she put herself out there and owned it, and she reclaimed her power. And that's where the extra respect came from. You didn't have to do that. None of us had to know that, but you chose to be transparent and upfront, and the respect factor has grown because of that.
I like to have
exactly. And that's so the other one, the knockoff one, the one that I said I bumped heads with on Clubhouse.
Yeah. She's an idiot.
She and the other guy she used to roll with on Clubhouse, I got into it with him too. Another goofy. And y'all might know him as Mr. Let Go. Got into it with that goofy on it. He tries so hard to be, he can't find his identity. That's why he never lasts on tonight's conversation, because he would say things and then he would just they would hit him with so much receipts and debunk his shit and make him look silly. And that's why they had to remove him off the damn platform. But the dude is, in a way, he wants to have his identity, but then he always reverts back to Kevin Samuels. It was kind of like he was trying to get that wave of Kevin Samuels, and it wasn't working for him because he's not him. He's the goofy dude that reminds me of the Remy Ma's new dude. You know what I'm saying? The knockoff version of the other guy. Like when they show his pictures, and he got the buck teeth and the glasses, and he looked goofy, and you trying to be this hardcore street dude and talking all this gun bars in the battle realm, but you weren't like that. You weren't built like that. So now you just looking real goofy. And that's what happens. These platforms are giving a lot of goofy men and women voices that they should have never had in the first place.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So that's where it all boils down to. But definitely, man, looking forward to Manversations really having that platform like that and going out there to really change the lives of many people. So y'all look out for that. Manversations might be torn in the near future.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's coming.
Let's get on to our next topic. All right.
Yeah.
Celebrity news. So I brought this up because I always hear people always talk about women protect women and all of this other stuff, but then they become very selective about when to protect Black women, right? So here it is that you had this one person had wrote in the caption, so no marches, no protests, no Black Lives Matter involvement for our Black queen, but the racists showed up for her, huh? So breaking news, President Trump just pardoned the beautiful Beverly Williams, who peacefully preached the gospel of Jesus in front of an abortion clinic. I can't believe they locked her up for that. She should have never been in there. So what happened was, if you guys don't know the backstory, this beautiful Black queen, she has a husband and she also have children. And she got locked up because she was pro-choice during the time the Democratic Party was pushing this abortion thing during the election. And because they lost the election and they lost their abortion rights, they punished this Black lady because she went viral, because she was out there just speaking what she felt like the word of God was, which is protect life. You know, we're not out here to kill babies. You know, she's a mother. You know, how do you get mad at women who are out there that say, no, you know, I don't believe in abortions. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in killing a life like that. You know, all these babies are precious. Why do that to them? You have women out there, you know, especially if you're into the book, it talks about that. So why would a woman like that get punished for free speech? That doesn't make sense. And it's from Biden, who all y'all sit back and y'all cape for. This man done got this woman arrested. Like, that's crazy to me. And nobody said nothing. Trump comes in office, first thing he does was go in and pardons her and gets her out of jail so she could get back to her children and family. Otherwise, she would have been sitting there for a lot of years for something that she shouldn't have never been sat in there for. And then you have all these rappers out here and other people out here that's doing shootings that don't even go to jail for what they are out here doing. And a woman that is out here just preaching life and breathing life into the atmosphere gets thrown in jail. I find that to be very offensive. And I see it's one-sided. It's a one-sided type of outcry, you know, because if you talk about protecting Black women, why haven't this woman's name been in every community across the nation? Why haven't we heard anything about that? You know, holding the previous administration accountable for the injustice against a Black woman. So I just wanted to bring that up and see what you guys thought about that as well.
Well, I mean, it's really like everything else that comes from the liberals. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything else that comes from the look at Bobby with the sipping. Hey, it's like everything else that comes from liberals. They're so predictable. Like this post correctly points out, it's always protect Black women. You got to protect the Black women. And if you criticize a Black woman, oh my God, you must hate women. I was just told that this week. Dude, Black women are just like anybody else. Women generally are just like anybody else. They can be criticized, they can be critiqued, they can be questioned. That's called being an adult. And yeah, you know, why did the racist guy, and I'm not going to object to, you know, Donald Trump and some of the questionable things that he said having been racist. Or why somebody may feel that he's racist because of some of the things that he said. I'm not going to object to that because he has said and done very questionable things. Yeah. But I wouldn't even use the term racist necessarily. I would use the term bigoted. I can understand why somebody might think that Donald Trump might be bigoted. But I say, I always broaden my argument. This is where I lose liberals because their little minds can't understand the concept of someone that looks at things in a nuanced way. You understand what I'm saying? Just because he's bigoted doesn't mean you can't work with him. And dumbass, he's in power. So why would you not want to work with the person that is in power? They have power. The NABJ is probably the best example I can think of in recent memory, whereas a Black entity had the opportunity to speak to Donald J. Trump. And they came on there talking about some stupid shit of, oh, you said this in the past and you hurt our feelings. You hurt our little feelings. Who let these amateur ass niggas up there? You understand? He don't have to like you to help you, dumb nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he don't have to like you to help you. I don't have to like him to tell him, hey, man, we got a bone to pick with you. Respectfully, this is what it is. Yeah. Let's solve the problem. I can bring you 45 million votes to keep you in power because that's what they're interested in. They're interested in power. We're interested in power, Black empowerment, which is a form of power. Why not talk to them and try to work with them? Yeah. There are people out here. I remember my mom was telling me a few days ago. She was watching the inauguration. Do you know my mother had people, these goofy ass niggas, talking about, well, why are you watching that? Why are you sitting up watching the inauguration? Criticizing her for watching the inauguration. She still replied, because I like to be informed. History. This is what is occurring. You're not going to understand what's going on if you just tune it out because the man in the blue, the man that's on the side of the blue gang didn't co-sign it. Black folks got this problem where we wait for white people to tell us, no, let me correct myself. Black people got this problem where we wait for the white liberal media to tell us what to be upset about.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? We can't think for ourselves. I talk to so many people on my thread every day that are incapable of thinking for themselves. Shut the fuck up. Turn Rachel Maddow off. You understand what I'm saying? Turn Chris Hayes off. Turn, Lord God, turn Joanne Reed off. For crying out loud. Turn them off and think for your damn self. Read the article yourself and don't get it from a leftist publication. Try to read, people who speak straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to read them. Try to listen to them so that you can discern what's real from what's not. But too many Black folks, they're always waiting for white approval, even when it comes to the simple matter of what to think. Because if they say that they think something that white mommy and white daddy don't approve of, or a bunch of goofy ass niggas that follow white mommy and white daddy don't approve of, all of a sudden you a sellout now. You understand what I'm saying? You have to think for yourself. It doesn't make any sense if the Democrats are supposedly our friends that Trump had to be the one to come along and pardon this woman, or that she was even arrested in the first place, because people like to make that argument. Oh, well, Trump this and Trump that. Okay, well, yeah, Trump has said some things that are out of pocket. Okay, Trump's willing to give police immunity. All right, I don't like that. I'm against that. Cool. What are the Democrats doing differently? Last I checked, Sonia Massey's killer is free. Jordan Neely's killer is free. He's riding the subway again. I could go on all day. Okay, their DOJ ain't done nothing to correct this problem against police terrorism against Black people. So basically, they just hide their racism better. You understand what I'm saying? Two things. They hide their racism better, one. And two, and I think more importantly, the Republicans may be bigoted and or racist as well, but they know how to at least be willing to come to the table and sit down and have discussions. Okay, I don't too much like you niggas, but I know you're going to be here. What can I do to maybe improve relations between us? What can I do? Not what can I say? We don't want to hear no more talk, Democrats. We want action. And this thing that Trump did that you're talking about was an action that was taken to correct an injustice. And you goofy motherfuckers need to basically follow suit. You need to do a lot more of that. You understand? You need to do a lot more of what Trump just did. And I'm part of that.
Well said.
Yeah.
Drake, what you got?
Yeah, basically, I'm just saying.
So I have no idea when this sister got arrested. None. I have no idea when she was tossed behind bars.
Exactly.
But I do know that unless that happened within the last week or so, Mr. Jim Crow Joey B had all the time in the world to do something about it. I know that. This is a woman, from all accounts, from what I've heard, isn't a problematic woman. She wasn't being nasty, derogatory, or vile. She wasn't twerking and throwing ass and selling cooch on fans only. Wasn't getting busted for possession or smoking a blunt out front of the White House lawn. She wasn't out here involved in any gang activity. Woman simply outside of an abortion clinic, exercising her First Amendment right to free speech preaching.
Mm-hmm.
Now, religious affiliation doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, if you're Buddhist, what have you. Doesn't matter what her religious background is, or whether she was preaching from the Quran or the Bible or from the Pentateuch or whatever. She was out there preaching, and she's clearly anti-abortion. She's very much pro-life, but she's not out there. And I've seen some of these protests. I've seen how they can be. She wasn't out here with a big old sign calling women murderers. She wasn't out here trying to guilt trip anybody, talking about think of your fetus. Nothing like that. She's just simply preaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as soft and gentle an approach as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the next step is for her to be out there in a Care Bears outfit doing it. I mean, what more do you want from the woman? But she's arrested. Her freedoms, her First Amendment freedoms violated. And she's locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that the Democratic Party, the liberals, the party supposed, I mean, it's in the name, the liberals, they're about your freedoms. You would think that they would be all over this. Oh, we got to get her out of there. Because remember, Black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. They're the ones running. You think that they're number one, they're ace in the hole, they're silver bullet in the chamber. You think they'd be running, beating their feet to go ahead and liberate their sister. And with Mr. Jim Crow Joe's last days in office, he was signing a whole bunch of executive orders trying to get them out of the way, things he knew that probably the Republicans were going to try to overturn anyways. But you'd think he could have squiggled out a little, get her out of there. She shouldn't be there. Nope. But instead, it's Mr. Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
It's the big bad wolf. It's that denizen of the deep, that boogeyman, the head citrus in charge, Mr. Tangerine himself, that goes and puts pen to paper and liberates the sister.
Orange man bad.
Now, this is the funny thing, because this did happen during Tangerine's first run in the office. And I can only imagine it's going to be a lot worse this go round. But as bad as he is, the devil that we know, every single thing that he does that should have been falling under the Democrats' playbook, like, hey, this is your lines, your scene starts now, that they failed to execute on, everything he does that they did not do is only going to make them look worse.
Yeah, facts.
Because the bad guy is not supposed to do good guy things. That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
Dr. Victor Von Doom isn't supposed to go outside of Stark Towers rescuing cats from trees. You're not supposed to see Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants doing community service outside of the X-Men's neighborhood home. It's not supposed to be cleaning up trees and adopting a highway. That's not supposed to happen. That's not how it works.
Facts.
So everything that he does, and I'm sure that he's going to do a whole lot more of them. Now, the motives behind them might be questionable, but ultimately it doesn't matter.
Right. Say it again.
But
Say
whatever
that
it is
again.
that he does that the Democrats refuse to do is only going to make them look worse.
There you go. There you go.
And like you said, Major, this is about business, and everything I say is just timeless, and that's not from a place of arrogance. That's just because it's just bulletproof.
But it is.
Been talking about this for years now.
Yeah.
A lot of us are not mature enough to properly engage in politics. We don't understand. I've been saying this for the longest. At some point, I'm going to get this trademarked. Negroes look at politics like they look at it like it's football. You got your Niners fans, you got your Kansas City fans,
there you go.
Eagles fans, you got your Bengals fans, you got your Dolphins fans, and these people are diehard. They don't care about getting things done for themselves.
Yeah.
In fact, they're more hardcore adamant about getting the ball moved for everybody else but us.
Yeah.
But they're the most loyal, diehard fans for the Democrats. And every time you pressure them, say, well, what about X, Y, Z? They'll make excuses to why they don't need it. It's not important. They will do whatever to give cover to these people. Meanwhile, they're getting left out in the sun to bake.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
Politics is quid pro quo, plain and simple. You want power, but you need our votes to give it to you. You need our dollars to fundraise to give it to you. We'll supply that.
Yeah.
But we got a list of demands. Got some things that we need out of you. And if we don't get those things, you can say bye-bye to your career. It's going to be the last time you're in office. You piss us off enough, we might hold a recall and get you dragged out before your term even comes to an end. That's it. That's how the game works. Somehow along the line, Black people seem to have missed this memo when it involves Democrats.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Unfortunately, the old adage about preferring to be a servant in heaven than a king in hell, unfortunately, seems to apply with Black people, where we would rather be servants under the Democratic administration than kings under the Republican administration.
Basically, yeah. Facts.
This person is in power. Now, the funny thing is, if you look at everybody else, everyone else knows how to move. As big of an anti-tangerine person, as liberal as Mark Zuckerberg has been this whole time, as soon as Donald J. got elected, what did he do? He didn't just go ahead and just, send a Facebook post saying congratulations. He went down in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the Citrus Grove, the original Orange Bowl, Mar-a-Lago. Parlayed with Tangerine.
Yeah.
Kissed the ring. Was willing to roll back all the OD censorship on conservative-based posts and posts that basically don't really go along with Democratic ideology. And he even went ahead and tossed $1 million to the man's fund. Because he realizes that for the next 4 years at least, I have a major business to run based in the United States of America, and I need to make sure that my bottom line is secured. I need to make sure that I'm on good terms with this person so I can be able to do business freely.
Yeah.
Elon Musk was already in on that side of the fence, but he did his thing too. Jeff Bezos as well. You want to know why? And what I'm going to say is going to be controversial. It's going to get some heat probably. Fine. I'm an even bigger smokestack in 2025. I want all the smoke.
It
is. I'm gonna say it like this. You want to know one of the reasons why we don't have any major Black owned and operated Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 type companies like that? You want to know the reason why we don't have as many, if any? It's because if there was a Negro named Daquan Zuckerberg behind Facebook, he'd have doubled down and said, Tangerine can kiss my ass. I'm not doing XYZ, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Would have done everything to draw ire from that party to make sure they couldn't even fart without some kind of tax or some kind of penalty coming their way. That's why.
Yeah.
They would have sunk their whole multi-billion, multi-trillion-dollar enterprise because somebody they don't like is going to be in the White House for the next 4 years. That's why.
Emotional bullshit.
At some point, we have got to mature. We have got to break the conditioning. And just like we talked about in the last segment about the part I'm playing right now, we have to learn how to critically think. I'm trying to get business done. I don't have to like you. Liking you will be great, but that's not a requirement. Can you best help me secure the bag? I didn't say sacrifice or contradict my principles. I didn't say that. I didn't say to bend on my morals and values. I didn't say that. I'm saying, can we do business? Can we negotiate? Can we compromise? Can we meet in the middle? Is there a way to ensure that everybody can walk away from the table more or less satisfied?
Yeah.
Everyone leaves with something. That is how business is done. And if you are not capable of doing that, you aren't fit to be in business, whether it's corporate business or even your own personal business.
Yeah.
I parked the G6. Jet fuel was expensive. I had to wait for these tariffs to ease up some.
Definitely well said. And I do want to show this in reference to that. So Joe Biden inducted in the historically Black Masonic Lodge, becoming a Master Mason, Freemason. So just wanted to put that out there.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, we start
I guess that's official. He really is black. So if you all didn't go out and fight for Jim Crow Joe, you really ain't black now. Because I mean,
oh boy,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Joe Biden didn't get patched in as a OES either. I mean, if we gonna do it right.
Yeah,
I don't know what's worse, that or Hillary Clinton being an AKA.
Nah.
Oh Lord.
What? Wait, Hillary Clinton's AKA?
Yeah, Hillary Clinton's an honorary AKA. Y'all have to look that up.
God. Somebody really done let AI run crazy in the world, boy. I tell you.
All right, off to our next topic. Question of the day. All right. So the question of the day we had circling around was, describe the worst first date you ever been on. So I remember
go ahead.
I had went on a first date with this girl, and I remember my homeboy had hooked up with her. He had hooked up with her friend, and I remember we had met them at Cafe Iguana, and when he met her, she was there with him. So the girl, the friend that was there, she was like, yo, tell your boy to hook me up with his boy, which was me.
Yeah.
So she gave me the number. I was talking to her, and we was talking and vibing. We had a great conversation. Like, it was super dope, right? And she was like, hey, let's go out to eat. I said, okay, where you want to go? She was like, Dave & Buster's. So we was talking and everything like that, and I forgot what was said. It was something that was said. I don't know who brought it up, but it was said like, okay, but I'm not bringing my wallet. I said something like, in effect, I'm not bringing my wallet, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, no need for you to bring your wallet. I got you. I'll take care of it, right? Mm. So I'm like, all right, cool, right? I still have my wallet on me. I was just joking around. So we end up going. We got to the restaurant. We greeted each other, sat down. We was having a great conversation at the table, and the check came. And I had pushed the check over to her because I was like, oh, I forgot my wallet. But I was gonna take, honestly, I was going to take the check and pay for it. But I wanted to see if she was really genuine about what she said.
Yeah.
And she was like, you ain't bring your wallet for real? I was like, what, you thought I was joking? I thought we already had this conversation on the phone. And she was like, man, you crazy. So she ended up grabbing the bill, right? And I was like, no, I'll pay for it. I'm just joking. I'll pay for it. She was like, no, I got it. So she paid for it. Mm-hmm. I went to the car, hugged her, everything like that. When I could tell her mood kind of switched.
Of course.
So then the next day, I'm at work chilling. I get a phone call from my boy, and he's like, man, what the hell you done? Man, what you done did, bro? I was like, what are you talking about, man? What you talking about? Nah, man, the girl I'm talking to, she upset because she said that you invited the girl out and you made her pay and do all that. I said, dog, relax, dog. First of all, you weren't there. So don't come hyping up on me about something that you have no knowledge about. Yeah. So when I told him, he was like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah, you know me. I don't have a problem. I've never let a woman pay the tab. It was just that it was brought up before time, and I really thought, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and see. I was really just pushing it along to see if she really was going to do that. Yeah. And I told her, I said, dog, I was going to pay it. And she was like, no. So you can't sit back and say, oh, he was going to pay it, but you decline them from paying it, and then you pay it, and then you go and make a big deal out of it. So that was like, it went from being a cool vibe to just, that whole shit just went all the way sour left. And I was like, yeah, I had to chalk that up real quick and keep it pushing. But you know, that was my first date, one of my worst first dates.
Yeah, you ducked the axe with that one, gang. Because
I definitely.
let me tell you something. I had some bird who I don't even know why I was talking to her, really, to be quite honest. This is another thing. Like, a lot of times, guys, we talk to women that are way below standard because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, true.
I'm guilty of that myself. Let's stop doing that shit. You understand? Because there's a woman that I think, as soon as you said that, there's a woman that I thought of that Bobby's applauding. There's a woman that I thought of that, like, dude, in the face, on her best day, fully made up, she might be a strong 6, maybe. You understand what I'm saying? Like, at her absolute best, not even like a strong 5. But because I had nothing better to do, I was talking to her, and like, we went out on a date, and she pulled some stupid shit too. Like, she's like, okay, you know, hey, because she was a baller, you know, she had money, you know, and unfortunately, guys, let me tell you, women with money, a lot of the times, are the worst type of women you can come across, if I'm being totally honest. Their head is so fucking big, they can barely get through the door sometimes because they got their own money, and they fail to realize that the dynamic between a man and a woman is more about balance and energy and complementary attributes than anything else. You know, they lack that maturity. So they feel like, well, since they got money, they don't need you.
Yeah.
They don't need no man. You can hear the neck waving in their walk.
You should see that. You should see that. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I know some memes and clips have been made of it already, but you should definitely take a look at Shannon Sharp's interview with Cheryl Underwood. She actually spoke about that.
Okay. What's up, Jenny Pop? We see you. We see you.
Jenny, what's going on, sis?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. But like, this bird, I've had worse dates than this, but I'm gonna count this one because I just want to draw a parallel to what Anthony just said and kind of expound on it. You know, when the check came, she was like, oh, you know, you ain't got to worry about it. I got it. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And so I let her pay it. And then immediately after she paid it, she starts catching an attitude. I'm like, why are you tight? What's wrong? What's going on? You were so cool 5 minutes ago. And then she proceeds to try and lambaste me about allowing a woman to pay for a first meal. Who the fuck you talking to? Like, some real shit. You know what I'm saying? And I tolerated her because I think she's an intelligent sister. And like a lot of women, she's really, really smart until it comes to dealing with men. Then her brain just falls the fuck out of her head. She has no idea what she's talking about. Hold on. I used to have that mentality in younger years. I don't need a man. As I matured, I need a man. Cutting this grass is killing me. Shout out to Jenny Bob for keeping it a buck. It's telling the truth. Listen, ladies, I'm going to just keep it a trillion with you. All this feminine shit, this white feminine shit that y'all trying, you ain't noticed the shit ain't working?
It's not.
Niggas ain't biting, bro. You understand? Unless you want to buy a dog and die alone, you need to get your goddamn act together, because if we keeping it a trillion everywhere, advantage men, advantage men, advantage men, because there's so many more of y'all than it is us. Boom. Because we, even though y'all make your own money sometimes, we still have the financial upper hand. Boom. You understand what I'm saying? I could, there are so many things that I could list, you know, that says advantage men. I don't say that to be mean. I say that to give you game so that you can understand the reality of the market right now.
Yeah.
After you decide you like a nigga, guess what? All the decisions are on him. And I wasn't making money like that when I said it in my younger years. You dig? And you know what? If we keep it at a buck, a lot of younger women have that mentality because the older women have poisoned them. These old broads are setting y'all up. And y'all need to start calling them out for their bullshit. You dig? These older women want y'all to be old, miserable, lonely, and unhappy like them.
Yeah.
Many of them do.
The lesbian.
A lot of these women just, women just want the good pussy for themselves. Are we gonna keep it a buck?
Was that not supposed to say that?
Hey.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm just saying. I don't have no filter.
My bad.
I'm just saying. So, let's keep it tall tonight, and let's speak the truth because, I'm tired of seeing the young women paying the price for the failures of the women that are supposed to be teaching them. I appreciate sisters like Kitty J. Rose and sisters like Jenny Bop right here, who they will come out and acknowledge, yeah, you know what? I was in a bad space. My bad. I was wrong. I've learned better. And this is how we need to move. We need to be interdependent as men and women. Yeah. We need to have complementing attributes and energies, and we need to be working together. That's what it's about. If we didn't all need each other, we wouldn't all be here. It'd just be one gender.
Correct.
Dumb nigga. I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now. I'm gonna just park the Chevy because, goddamn it, I get passionate about shit like this. Go ahead.
What you got, Bob?
What's your worst date that I've ever been on? I don't know if there's worse ones that I just can't remember, but worst first date that you ever been on. As far as I can recall, I gotta say, man, I'm blessed. Like I've dodged I dodged a hail of gunfire. I definitely have over the years. I've been inadvertently on some Matrix type stuff, dodged and sidestepped, and a lot of the times it's not even consciously doing it either. Just God has got my back. That's all I can say. There's been some things I've been aware of, that one was for me. Yikes. Okay. So I've dodged both before they ever got to that point. But as far as actual first dates, the worst one, and it really wasn't a bad one. I mean, it's all things considered, it wasn't a bad one, just the way that it kind of turned into this isn't going to probably be a sequel to this one, was not that long ago, probably about in the last 2-3 years, maybe. Bumped into this chick. We were talking for a little bit, not that long, but she seemed really cool. Good personality. We had good rapport over the phone and talking and everything. So we're like, all right, so I want to get to meet you because ultimately, at the end of the day, I definitely encourage people to use all the mediums that's available to you. Friend of a friend, online dating. You can do little speed dates, whatever. That's cool. The virtual dating thing, whatever, that's cool. But personally, for me, at the end of the day, I want to see you face to face in the flesh. If I don't have that with you yet, the phone ain't gonna cut it. FaceTime ain't gonna cut it. Text. I'm a huge vibes person. I pick off of people how I feel when I'm around them. I'm observant and everything. So I want to actually experience you. So it don't matter how far along the line we've gotten. All that is just paper thin. Until if I ain't met you in the flesh, then it don't count for nothing. So I'm like, all right. I like her enough where I feel confident about this. I want to meet her and see if the connection, the vibe is right in person or whatever. So we met up, had brunch at this nice spot that I went to. I decided to make it a fresh experience. It's a place that I hadn't been to, but I had gotten good recommendations from a few people whose opinion I value when it comes to food and eating with them. Not just, I heard of the place. No, people who I know I can trust their palate, I can trust their taste buds. They said this place was legit. So it was going to be a new experience for the both of us who went. Had a good time. The food was great. Delicious food. We had a very friendly server and everything. And we just got to talking and just, getting to know each other better. And everything was going great. I was actually probably at midway, and I'm like, we might just have a second date. All right, got some hope for this sister. And then somehow along the line, we got to talking about family, and things went to the left real quick, boy. Apparently she had been through a good little bit. Her based on what she told me, her brother, I believe, I think she said, had actually been I can't even. Probably my subconscious trying to protect me from that trauma, but basically, her brother had been killed, according to her, I think, by either her father or stepfather, something like that. And according to her, it was because the father, whoever, was possessed by somebody that her other family member sicked on, her brother or something. And I'm listening, I'm listening to her tell a story, and I'm like genuinely engaged. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, someone put me on the Sci-Fi Channel real quick. Like, where the cameras at? I'm like, I know somebody pranking me. I know this is a joke. Somebody got to answer for this. And she just said it like, not nonchalant, but you could tell like there's some emotion behind it. But she was like, I've kind of, it is what it is. So that her brother survived, whatever, and all kind of other stuff. But she would every so often go back to that. And I'm like, yeah, I like the sister, but I don't feel that the elevator goes to the top floor. And there's 13 floors in the building, and it comes up almost to the 12th, almost there, not quite. And I don't want no one to have anything sideways. I'm not, because I know there are people who have different beliefs or whatever. They believe in things like that, and to a certain extent, I also believe in that, but not to that depth. So I don't want no one coming from me like, oh, you're mocking her belief. No, I'm not. I'm just simply saying that we're not on the same page in that regard, and that's okay. But even if that is the case, even if what she says 112% legitimate, I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and voluntarily, knowingly go ahead and hitch myself to that wagon. I don't know, y'all out here murking family members. I might be next on the list after a while. Who knows? So I'm cool. I'm cool in that regard. But other than that, she was a sweetheart. Minus that, it was a really great first date, and if it wasn't for that, it probably would have had a second date, very much so. But was what it is. But I know some people would have probably seen or heard that and just tried to dismiss it because everything else was on point. And again, everything was good, very attractive, lovely sister. Features were on point, pretty intelligent too. Yeah, we had good conversation, a lot of interest, but that was something that's a major thing that you're talking about dealing with. Either way, so again, that's fine. She's going to be perfect for somebody else. Somebody out there would bump in there and be like, damn, where's she been at? But for me, it's not going to cut it. And again, I talk about this all the time. We talk about this on the show a lot. Not having a fear of loss. She's a great catch for somebody. She had a lot of attributes that I liked and that I valued. But I was not willing to go ahead and take the L in this one area for all those. It wasn't worth it to me. And I wasn't thirsty to go ahead and seal the deal. I wasn't thirsty to go ahead and, clap some cheeks or just go ahead and get it to say I have somebody. I'm willing to compromise and negotiate in certain things, but there's some areas that if it doesn't match, I'm willing to walk away from the table. No harm, no foul, nothing negative. Wish you all the best and wish that sister all the best as well too. But you got to have that mindset, because there's some people right now that are living in hell because they saw the red flag and they just figured that we'll be okay. It'll get better, and it never got better. In fact, it got worse, because that's how those situations go. So, you got to ultimately not have a fear of loss. Make sure, but when you're out in the dating pool, if you haven't done it yet, do it now. Find out what your deal breakers are. What are the things that I can budge on? What are the things that I'm iffy on? What are the things that it's a hard no for me? And stand on those things. Stand on business. And that's what men and women alike. Stand on business with it.
Yep.
Because you compromise those things within reason, as long as it's reasonable now. But if you are making reasonable standards and you're standing on business, you're going to have to say no a lot. But what it's going to do is going to open yourself to the yeses. We talked just last week about how it doesn't matter what's in that parking space. If it's occupied, if it's a skateboard, if there's something in that parking space, ain't nobody else going to be trying to park in there.
Don't block your blessings. Facts.
Exactly. So don't go ahead and, the Lambo of your dreams, the the brand new Mercedes Benz that you've been hoping for, don't get mad when it pulls up and keeps on moving because you've got somebody's broke ass bike with the passive tire sitting there. Whose fault is that?
Just saying. Just saying. All
Yeah,
right.
all right. So I wanted to show this video because a lot of times a lot of women put men under pressure. So this one guy put his girl under pressure. He was like, all right, well, let me put you to the test and see if you could do a better job than me. All right, so check this out.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Faster. Faster. That's what you've been telling me. Faster. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Faster. Faster. 15 seconds. If I hear you telling me I'm 2 minutes noodles, we are fighting.
She couldn't do that for 15 seconds, but she had
so easy, is it?
Hey,
not so easy, huh?
He was a quick thumper for 2 minutes, and you couldn't last 15 seconds. That's all you could do.
Facts.
All
I mean, sometimes the clips just speak for themselves. You go, that's a little too self-explanatory. Church. Go to the next one. God
Let's
damn.
go to our next one. All right. So our next topic is requesting advice. I need your help. All right. So we have somebody that said, hi guys, I have a dilemma and I need advice. I met a man last September. He seemed like an answered prayer and we had the same values. The issue is he lies. He lied about not using chat GPT to respond to my messages. He lied about his age and he said that it was because he didn't want to leave as he is 38 and I'm 27. I forgave him as I wrote it off as a reasonable insecurity. This all happened in a space of dating for 2 months or so. Recently, I found out he lied about what he does for work. And this is after asking him intensively, what did he do and where he worked? He would tell me about his work being vaguely and stated that he had an NDA and could not detail it, which I respected only to find out it was a lie. My dilemma is he's a great all-around, share similar values, and he respects that I want to keep my celibacy till marriage. I'm struggling to overlook dishonesty and deceit. However, I am aware that no one's perfect. What a pickle. Could this be a pattern? Thank you. So she wants advice on that.
Look at Bobby. Yeah. It's a little crazy. I mean, wow. Look, man, listen. When people show you who they are, believe them. Is the simple answer.
I need a drink.
This shit.
I need a drink.
Oh my God. Listen, shout out to you, sister. Listen, I hear you. It's slim pickings out here. You know what I'm saying? 2 things though. You said that you were willing, I guess, to forgive the other lies. Then you found out that he lied about his work and what he does, and they said there's an NDA and he couldn't disclose it. How are you sure about that? That's what I want to know, because, for instance, I used to date this girl, and she told me about what she did because I was so adamant about it, but she didn't want to tell me either in the beginning. Come to find out that she's a federal agent with a nuclear clearance. You understand what I'm saying? I'm so glad she told me, because ain't no way I'm sleeping the fuck next to that every night. You got to be out your goddamn mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way in the hell I'm sleeping next to that shit every night. But that's a whole other conversation. But like,
throwing that thing, you know, that thing is thermonuclear.
You dig? Oh my God!
You sound intimidated. You're not secure.
That's what it was.
You're not secure.
Sure. I'm intimidated. Just get the fuck away from me. Yeah, I'm intimidated. Look, let me tell you something. I found peace when I started saying that. Yeah, I'm intimidated. Get the fuck out my face. But that's a whole other conversation too. Let me make sure I respond to this sister's question in a proper manner. You know, once you caught a person, and once I catch a person in one lie, that's enough. You'd have caught this dude at 3. You understand what I'm saying? When people show you who they are, believe them. You know, even if it's, hey, listen, we need to have a serious talk. And I need you to put everything on the table because, you know, the first 2 lies I was willing to forgive. I caught you in the 3rd one now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I'm saying maybe. If you really, really like him that much, you give him this final, hey, man, you better get it together in a very polite way. I wouldn't even do that, though, because, like, this is the 3rd lie you've caught him in, and those are pretty big lies. You see them as understandable insecurities. I see them as glaring, bright crimson flags, God damn it. That's what I see them as. Like, yo, that's the most basic shit. You lying about what you do for a living? That's like the first thing people ask you. And your age, nigga? And it ain't even that. What is that, 9 years? Was she dating the president? Well, you know, Obama supposedly, you know, they say Obama's banging Jennifer Aniston. That's why
I was going to bring that up, but I was like, you know what? Not today.
Hold up.
Not today.
They say Obama's allegedly banging Jennifer Aniston, and that's why he's leaving Michelle's old buck-tooth ass. That's what they're saying.
Oh, no.
That's true.
He's not dating Jennifer Aniston. They're just friends.
They're
Great play.
You are on demon time, bro. Like,
Great
yo.
play on words. Yeah, her DM got exposed, so it's not hearsay. Her DM got exposed, and she had to shut down. She had to shut down her Instagram when the DM got exposed.
Gang, what's going on out here?
Yeah, so we're not even gonna get into that because I gotta research more on that. I didn't want to bring that up.
Allegedly.
He's
playing in the snow. I'm surprised there was a woman. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure.
I was about to say that's a good way to put those body fish rumors to
Barack Obama cheating on Michelle with a woman? That was the surprise for me. It's like, yo, that was the surprise for me. But
we did not see that one up. We did not have that one on the bingo card.
I'm just saying, if it was a woman, though, to me, it would be a white woman. Are we really going to try to convince ourselves that Barack Obama likes black women? Really? Y'all clearly ain't paying attention to this dude, bro. Like, I've never believed that marriage was real. You dig? Yeah. So I don't know, but that's a whole other conversation. I don't want to get too much into the weeds. But yeah, I mean, she could be dating the president. Look, Barack Obama, he does have, you know, kind of classified information. So, you know, if it's somebody, you know, depending on what he does, I would really like to know if what he does is legit, like some sensitive, because I've actually been in that situation before and I couldn't understand it. And when I found out, I'm like, oh, fuck this. I cleared it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is possible, even if you know what he does, that it might be awesome. Yes, it's something. Yes, that's what everybody's been talking about, Jeannie Bob. Allegedly, Obama has been playing in the snow and, you know, banging Jennifer Aniston or whatever. And this is not just, these are credible publications and credible journalists talking about this shit.
Yeah.
She asked her about it.
It's in her DM, and she had to shut down her whole page.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's his. I mean, we got to say allegedly because it ain't acknowledged yet from the parties. But I mean, if you visually see it, you'll know what's going on. You ain't gotta, you know, you can see 1 and 1 on the board. You don't have nobody to tell you that it equals 2.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And remember, you got to remember, before he met Michelle Obama, he was dating a snow bunny, and that story been out for a long time.
Facts, yeah.
They've been talking about that.
I mean, really, you really think he's attracted to Michelle Obama mouth ass? Like, really?
Look, All I have to say is I don't see what the problem is. There's nothing wrong. I mean, outside of him, obviously, violating his marriage. What's the big deal about him wanting a woman just like his mother?
He went to Harvard.
Wait. Hold on, wait. What? Okay. Okay. No.
Barack Obama Sr. is the black person in that parent, right? You know that Obama's mother is good old fashioned from Kansas, right? You know that, right?
No, I know that, but his mom wanted a woman.
His
one of the mom. Well, yep, never mind. Okay.
People say his mama black. Well, his mama white. I mean,
yeah. Okay, got you. Yeah, that's true.
Mama white, raised by his white grandmother. He's There's no knock on him for being attracted to a woman that looks like his mother. He has his father's taste in women. What's the deal?
Yeah. And he went to an all-white school, Harvard. So I mean, the options of black women out there were very bleak.
Let's be honest. If we're being fair about this, and this isn't to even jump down his neck, if you look at from his conception up until the point where he met Michelle and they got married, everything in the cards said that this was not someone that he was going to be with.
Yeah.
The odds of him getting with Michelle were slight. It's miraculous that even happened. If we're being honest about it, it was far more likely that he was going to be with a non-black woman, more than likely a white woman.
And everybody around him is with somebody white. Both of his daughters date white. His wife's brother dates white. His father dated white. I mean,
one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, I'm just saying. To me, he did that shit so he could run for president.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Saquon. Remember, Saquon went to Penn State. Saquon's child's mother is white.
Who is Saquon?
Saquon Barkley.
Oh.
We just talked about it earlier.
Saquon Barkley.
Huh?
What does it have to do with Saquon Barkley?
No, what I'm saying is
he's talking about the Harvard.
He went to Harvard. Saquon went to Penn State. What I'm saying is a lot of times these guys go to these collegiate white colleges and they're around a lot of white women. So a lot of times they tend to get with them, in the process of that.
And in Obama's case, it's not just the school he's going to, but it's literally in his blood. That's literally his DNA.
I will never believe that Barack Obama is interested in black women. I'm shocked that he's interested in women.
When it comes to politics, we're not going to get too deep in the weeds, but if you know anything about politics, you know that roughly a good, I would say, 80%, and maybe I'm underselling it, but at least 80% of these relationships are formed out of convenience. For the people that are all into media and consume media, let me put it this way. If you've watched House of Cards, if you've seen the show House of Cards, and the idea of Barack and Michelle coming together for political expedience purposes shouldn't surprise you. Even when Andrew Gillum got busted, they even talked about how initially he wasn't checking for his wife. They literally said that their political club president literally forced that match to happen because they realized, hey, this kid could have a future in politics, but if he's interested in this, even this, the odds of him getting elected are down. He needs this. She wants to come up in a good life. He wants to get elected. This works.
Come on,
when you're trying to play the game at that level, all that matters. They literally have data and statistics on everything. And that's why, again, critical analysis is important. You don't understand. There's so many X's and O's in this world about things. Marketing, psychology, those are multi-billion, multi-trillion-dollar industries for a reason.
Yeah.
People spend big money to find out how people think, how they tick, and how to get them to do certain things. People don't understand, man. It's understanding this can be scary for a lot of people, but really, a lot of the things, the advertisements, the clothes we wear, the things we say, a lot of this stuff is analysis and data.
Yeah.
But let's back in the past.
That's something else. Let me just, I'm not sure if I answered the sister's question. That thing went somewhere else. Okay. I want to make sure I answer the sister's question concisely, though. Okay. Yeah, you probably should leave that alone, sister, because of the simple fact that you've caught him in so many lies. And a person who is untruthful about such insignificant things, trust me, there are many other things beneath the surface that they're going to be dishonest about. That's just what it is. Simple and plain. When someone shows you who they are, believe them, and I'll park the Chevy right there.
Talked up enough time, so you basically said it for me, Major, but I will say, like you said, if they're lying about small-minded things, you can maybe understand. First off, I don't really see the whole chat GPT thing as lying. I mean, the person has to put some information in there. If he's not very well spoken, he's probably trying to find the right way to say things to you. I wouldn't count that as a lie.
But he told her that he told her that he didn't use it, and he did. That's a lie.
Yeah. So true enough, I missed that part.
Yeah.
So that happened. But lying about your age and so drastically, not even a 1 or 2 year difference, but almost a whole decade difference. This person is a habitual liar. And mind you, again, this is the introductory phase. You're just getting to know this person. This is where their best foot is being put forward. What do you think is going to happen later on down the line?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's very attractive. Maybe he's got the whole Idris Elba, Aaron, whatever the brother from Britain's name is, Mr. Mufasa, whatever. Maybe he's got that whole gorgeous drop dead look, and that's why she's out here willing to go ahead and forsake all this. Because I'm pretty sure if he was ugly and 5'6", walked with a limp, we wouldn't even made it to this letter in the first place. So all I'm saying is at this point, you already know the answer. I don't know why you're reaching out to us. You know what the answer is. Just understand that at this point, there are no victims, just willing participants. So
come on now.
Do with that what you will. I just don't want to hear later on. Someone should tell. I don't want to hear that. Whatever decision you make it and stick with it.
There it is. And I think she's reaching out to us for reaffirmation, which is fair.
So basically, my thing is, like you guys just put it together so eloquently, is just if he's showing you who he is, that's who he is. I mean, a liar is going to be a liar, whether it's the beginning of the relationship or at the end of the relationship. If he lies, he lies. If he starts off lying, that's a huge red flag because you ain't even put in. Yeah, there's no even trying to even be authentic with himself and letting you see his flaws up front, so that way you can determine what area he needs help with, if you want to help him with it, or to know that, hey, this isn't a fit for me. But if he's lying to you and playing the game, and then now you are, being captivated by that and sucked into it, because now you're saying all your values and all this lines up. But is it lining up authentically, or is it lining up fictitiously? You see what I'm saying? If he's lying, then how we know that part that you're saying you're compatible with isn't a lie as well. So once you found out the first 3 lies, like that should be first 3 strikes, should go ahead and move on, because to be honest with you, you thinking that him not having sex and respecting your celibacy is a badge of honor in his favor, and in reality, he probably got another girl in the wing that he don't tell you about, that he's lying about, that he's having sex with and just using you in the comfort zone until you're ready to give in and have sex. So you got to take these things into consideration and understand this was always a red flag from the get-go. And when you are being sucked into it, you go from playing a victim into being a participant, like what Bobby was saying. So in order for you not to be a participant, you're seeing all the red flags, leave it. Don't be a person who get caught up into it, then end up marrying them, having a child, and then find out the whole marriage was a total lie from the get-go, because you go end up being deeper and deeper into who he really is after long term. You know what I'm saying? So that's a red flag. Move on. There's plenty of prospects, good prospects out there. Invest in it, understand it, and pair up with who you need to pair up with. And I'll land my plane on that.
Real quick, throw that up again, real quick.
Oh, throw it up. Okay.
Okay, so real quick, I'm just gonna drop this real quick because I think this is real quick, other women as well too.
Yeah,
that whole tossing. Well, I'm only saying it because she led with that when she kind of justified the things that she likes about him. The first thing that she put was that he respects my celibacy. I'm not knocking anyone, male or female, for choosing to be celibate. or to basically abstain from sex until marriage. I'm not knocking anyone for that. I'm not saying that she should or shouldn't have sex with him or any other man before that. But what I am saying is I'm definitely going to tip my hat to my boy, Jamar Camper, aka Intellectual Sniper JC, because he always talks about this. Women have to stop putting sex on a pedestal and making that the foundation of the linchpin of everything. Because when women do that, that actually leads to a lot of problems. Again, I'm not advocating for anyone to have sex. I'm not advocating for sex, period. I'm simply saying pedestalizing sex has led a lot of women to problems. You can be celibate and not make that the cornerstone of the whole thing. Well, you know, you marry me, you get a lot of benefits. One of the benefits you get is sex. You get these, you get the. Stop making that the focal point. If that is the big payoff for being with you, then you already don't have much going for you in the first place. Everything is going to come along with that. You'd be better off. And again, I'm not saying you should do it, but if that's such a big deal for you, you'd be better off giving him the cheeks right now and getting that out of the way and saying, now that we've already done this, where does the future go? Him respecting your celibacy, that's, to be honest, you can't even have any proof of that. All you just simply know is that he hasn't left yet. You have no idea how he actually feels about you being celibate, or if he's like, man, F this, man, or he's getting it for somebody else. You have no idea. So using that as a measuring tool is only going to set you back. And that's probably part of what's clouding your judgment right now, because you probably told other men this and they were honest with you and said, that's cool and all, but I'm not waiting around to have sex. Sorry. And so because this dude came along and probably told you, yeah, he's willing to wait, he hasn't left yet, that might be part of, because I've been trying to figure that out, that might be part of why she's putting this message out there, because she's not sure if she's going to find another man who's willing to sit back and wait for her. Sis, that should not be the draw. If that's that big of an issue, you may as well get it out of the way so that's not clouding your judgment. But if that's the linchpin, that's the cornerstone, you're going to have a lot of problems, and it's going to put you in a position like this, because you shouldn't be reaching out as asking basically, hey, should I go ahead and give a liar a pass so I can be with someone? That's what you're asking us. Should I give a liar a pass? Now, when you put it like that, then it's obvious you're crazy to ask the question. But if there's other reasons that are clouding your judgment, then you can see how you're in this position. And in this case, your celibacy now is becoming a bigger issue for you, and it's becoming a liability as opposed to an asset. It's no longer protecting you, it's putting you at risk, because you're here seriously considering giving someone who's lying to you about everything access to you in a deeper manner. You need to rewire how you think. And a lot of women need to rewire how they think and view sex. Sex isn't leverage over men if you're allowing it to go ahead and leave you vulnerable to them. Be mindful of that.
Very solid point.
Okay. All right. Let's go into our last topic of the night. I know we're running out of time shortly. So our crown check. All right. So before we get into our crown check, I did want to give an update. So we have this is our queen, what's her name? Stanley, right? Dawn Stanley. Dawn Staley. Yes, Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley. I didn't know that I've ever coached against a team that has 10 McDonald's All-American on the roster. How do you ever keep 10 on a roster? LSU Lady Tigers head coach Kim Mulkey said. Stanley's Gamecock handled LSU in its first L of the season yesterday, 66-56. Carolina now stands alone as the only undefeated team in the SEC.
Wow.
Man, shout out to that. Shout out to her again. And we had her on Crown Check before, and I just wanted to get that update to show she got the bag. Last time we talked about how she got the bag, and then she ended up beating the other undefeated team in women's basketball. And for her to be so dominant, and for her to be such a great, well-loved coach, that other coaches cannot understand how she can have a team of all-stars together like that and be cool with playing, because now the element is that everybody could go to a different school and you got the NIL deals and everything like that. You could be your own star player. So when you have all these elite players playing together, it becomes like selflessness. So it's like everybody's on the court to win another championship. And man, for her to have that type of talent on her team and knowing how to feed them, how to coach them, and let them play as a team and not as ego individuals, just says a lot about Coach in general, man. So I definitely wanted to point that out of her doing a great job. So with that being said, our crown check for tonight is a couple, right? So meet this couple right here. It's Life Spa Resort under inspiration of leadership of an African American founders, Alan and Melissa Brown, proudly announced the launch of a fundraising campaign to raise $12 million to open the Poconos' first Black-owned hotel spa, which is super dope, man. So shout out to them as a couple doing their thing to open up the first hotel spa in the Poconos like that, Black-owned. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was another couple that opened up a Black hotel as well. And shout out to that elder. I was trying to do some research on them, but they have very little information on them as well. But they end up being inspired by that and end up doing this as well. So shout out to them for doing what they need to do. And this is why we talk about, we try to get away from the gender divide, because look how powerful we could be when we line up with a great man and a great woman and start conquering things and end up producing great things for our community. So that's why I wanted to highlight them tonight, just to show some unity and why it's important for a lot of women to get in their divine femininity and get away from women and the combativeness and the jealousy. Go out there and find your man that's for you. You don't need no approval of anybody saying, yeah, I approve that guy of you. Find out what you need in your life, the type of man that you need to lead your family, yourself, and unite with them and go out there and create greatness together. And with that being said, I land my plane.
That's it, gang. You said it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was phenomenal. That's a great way to end the show, talking about unity, between Black men and Black women, which is really what this show is all about. At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's why we come here, and that's why we give y'all these gems, because we care about the community. We want to see Black men and Black women come together and do positive things. That is a beautiful accomplishment. See that right there? That's how you create generational wealth. And the Poconos, man, you know what kind of money comes through the Poconos? And they got a luxury resort there. Yeah, that's outstanding. That is an immense accomplishment. I would like to see more brothers and sisters doing those type of things, working together, because that's really how we get there, especially when you start talking about these times where we got inflation and we got white supremacy and everything working against us. Yeah. This is when we lean into each other more and stop with the petty gender divides and focus on solutions and how to win. Can't beat that. Can't beat that.
Can't beat that. Well said. Well, take us out, Bobby.
That's amazing right there. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for it to be built and developed and everything. I hope it exceeds the goal. They're seeking 12 million. I hope they get double that, triple that. Yeah. But again, and this isn't being a pessimist, but this is being a realist. I also at the same time can't help but to look to the past, because as we all know, the best indicator, the best predictor of the future is the past. And I think about what's transpired with the Black Wall Streets. I think about, more specifically, more germane to the topic, I think about what happened with Bruce's Beach over there in California. Yeah. And so we understand that they're seeking to go ahead and build a luxury resort, a Black-owned and operated luxury resort in an area that is not ours. They're going to be the minority in that area. The bulk of the people that come through there don't look like us. Now, while it's perfectly possible that they'll open this resort and it'll become the new hot thing in town. It's going to be the place that everyone wants to go to be the first there. They're going to take great pictures. They're going to go ahead and promote it and hype it. They're going to give amazing 5-star reviews. While it is a possibility, the cynic in me can't help but think that as great as this place may be, because of who's behind it, it might get overlooked. So, fam, brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
This is, you want to talk about a community, about a village. If this resort is going to be successful, if it's going to thrive, if it's going to be the best that it can be, if it's going to make the cut up in the Poconos, it's going to have to fall on us. That's going to have to be our resort.
Yeah.
When we out here booking our trips, we're looking to do our ski trips. We have our black ski weekends. We have our girls trips, our guys trips, our bachelor parties, our bachelorette parties, what have you, our destination vacations and weddings and all that. When we start looking to plan these things, we need to start looking at those places.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't want to hear any complaints when something goes wrong. We're seeing it now. These companies that's rolling back these DEI and everything else. People talk about, I'm not shopping in places that don't have DEI. Where are the places that again, we're willing to do that for them people. But we have our own all natural DEI. It's us. It's for us by us.
Do it.
Let's see. Are we going to support this DEI operation that's popping up? Are we going to support that? I don't know. I hope we will. So let's go ahead and throw it up again one more time, man. What's the name of the place?
I think. Hold on. Let me see. Where is it?
I think it was Life Spa Resort.
Yeah. Hold on. I think.
There we go.
Life Spa Resort. Yeah.
The Life Spa Resort. Make sure y'all look that up. Make sure y'all have that saved in your favorites on your trip vision boards and all your travel groups. Get that name out there. Let's go ahead and make this our resort. And you know how it is. If we're depending on other people to support us, it's going to go nowhere. But if we make that thing jumping, if we make that place hot, we know everybody else is going to have no choice but to get on board. You know, everything we touch turns to platinum and diamond and gold. Everything we touch, they need that same support from us. So big ups to them. Absolutely. That's that story right there. That's the whole spirit of, again, why we have this whole podcast. The purpose is we're in here for man training. We're here to go ahead and mold and shape people that are going to be better suited to build the proper society.
Yeah.
Our objective, our purpose is we're meant to be a factory. We're meant to mass produce. You come in one way, our goal is to send you out a completely different way. We're here to change your mind, change your spirit, change your body. We're here to go ahead and version 2.0, 3.0, version 4.0 you. That's the goal. That's the vision. That's the purpose. So if you like what you've been hearing tonight, if you've been digging in the archives, hearing some of our past episodes, you like what we had to say, go ahead. You see the sign. Follow, like, and subscribe on all social media platforms. We on Facebook, we on Twitter, we on Instagram, we streaming on IG now. What's up to all our IG people out there? We appreciate you rocking with us. And of course, you can catch us on YouTube. Join our Facebook group. We have great, dope, inspirational content that gets posted there. We have some good discussions that pop off now and again. Come ahead, be part of the movement, be part of the vision that we have out here. And speaking of YouTube, make sure you go ahead and click on that bell icon and select all notifications. We are not going to blast your timelines, but when we go live, when we go in here and do our thing, you'll get a notification and you'll be invited to be a part of us live and in the flesh. Big ups to all of y'all. Hope y'all stay safe, be well. Ant, Major Gage, Bobby D signing off. We'll catch y'all next week, same time, same place. We are Manversations 2020.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up.